Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Quarterdeck Arcade here. You might notice a little different view behind me. This is my home office space. You guys are familiar with some of the pictures I've taken in here in the past. I used to have my 1/6 scale and 1/4 scale arcades behind me. Those are gone. Those are now back downstairs in the arcade. But I just wanted to take some time this morning to kind of preview my sim build. As you can see, the space behind me is blank. I'm going to expand the view here and give you a live shot of the build area that we're going to be working with and the box that we're going to be starting with. But this is the area I've chosen to put my Sim Racing Cockpit, and it will take up quite a bit of space, and I'm anxious to get started on this build because I want to see how much room I'm going to have left to do some other stuff. And it's been very difficult finding the time to get started. I had all the parts and pieces as of Sunday afternoon, and I could have gotten started then, but then the week started, work, life, just busy stuff, and so here we are. I wanted to at least take a short bit of time here before I got to actually start my work day and just give you a preview of what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. I did have a poll about what you folks would like to do, either shoot a prepared content video on this build or actually do a series of live streams, which that actually went 50-50 last time I looked. So yeah, I figured I'll stick to what I know best, which is actually just doing these things on a live stream. You guys can jump around in the streams after the fact on replay. And yeah, so what I'm going to be building is a 3-monitor sim racing cockpit. I have the monitors. I have the PC that's going to drive it. I have the Thrustmaster controller. And so I pretty much have all the parts and pieces. What I envision doing is sticking the cockpit there to the right next to the closet, and having a table next to it that will hold the PC and also my PlayStation 5. I will be switching back and forth between my PlayStation 5 and my racing PC. So yeah, pardon me because it's my post-workout routine, and I jumped on the stream here just to little shout out to Fairlife. I got to get my protein right. So I want to show you this stream here is just a preview. Okay, we're not going to dive into the build yet. I've got to work today, obviously. So, but I wanted to see if I couldn't get this done really quickly. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. Go back here. Window. All right, so let's see if I can make this smaller. I need my eyes, folks. I can't see worth a darn. All right, so let's start things with the actual cockpit itself. This is what I've bought. It's the Dardu Racing Simulator cockpit with a triple monitor stand and a black seat. And you get all of that for the very low price of $399.89, so 400 bucks. It comes in 3 boxes. So the actual cockpit itself, the metal frame comes in 1 box. The seat comes in a 2nd box, and then the monitor stand comes in a 3rd box. So I've got all 3 boxes. The box that I showed on camera before is the I don't have a cell phone camera only, but that box right there is the actual metal frame for the cockpit. So that's what I bought for the basic cockpit. So what you see here is you've got your attachment point for the steering wheel. You've got your attachment point here for the pedals, and then there's also an attachment point for the shifter. So, and I could shift through these, and this kind of gives you an idea what the size of it is. It's about 51.1 inches tall at the monitors, 43.5 inches at the seat, and then length, and this is important to me, is, well, it has a range. It depends on, I guess, whether or not you got the monitor frame, but I got the monitor frame, so I'm going to assume it's like 66 inches in depth. So that's important to know because it kind of gives me an idea what kind of room I have to work with. You can adjust the shift platform. You can either put it on the right or left, depending on if you're a lefty or a righty. And you can also adjust the foot pedals and the wheel. You can adjust it from 0 to 30 degrees, or you can adjust the foot pedal from 0 to 30 for however works best for you. So I'm interested in that. Let's see. Compatible with most brands of wheels. I have the Thrustmaster T300, which I'll show you here in a second. But it's, Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, all can be mounted on this rig. So that's kind of why I went with this rig. I didn't want to go all out for the cockpit. I wanted to have something I could just start with. And as you can see, it comes in 3 boxes. Okay, so that's the actual cockpit itself. Now let's move to an accessory I thought was important. Was something to hold a keyboard and mouse that I can reach when I'm not actively racing and I want to, navigate around iRacing or whatever. I picked this one, which is a universal 26-inch keyboard and mouse tray. It's pole mounted, so you can mount it to the rig wherever it fits best, and it can move around. So that's what I got for the cockpit. We'll see if it works. I'm not quite sure if it'll 100% work, and there may be something else out there better that I might try, but this is what I'm starting with. So that's an accessory that I bought. Next is the actual Thrustmaster wheel and pedal set. This is the T300 RS GT Force feedback racing wheel. And it flips between the PS5 and the PC. So there's a little switch right there where you see mode. It'll switch between PC and the PS5. So I've used it on my desk. It's not very comfortable on my desk. Like the pedals are on the carpet, and I constantly am pushing the pedals back and it affects my braking during racing simulations. So that's another reason why I wanted to go with the cockpit. So we're going to do that. But I've had this wheel for a few months now, and I really love it. It's got great force feedback. There's also on the wheel, there's shifting levers on the back of the wheel that work really well. But along those lines, I went ahead and bought a Sim Racing gear shifter that I can actually mount on the rig. So this is what I bought, was the Thrustmaster TH8S Sim Racing shifter. And as you can see, it's an H pattern shifter. You know, 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down, that kind of thing. So that's my shifter. Moving on to the monitors. Okay. I kept it simple. I did do a little bit of research, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. I wanted to get going on this. So I happened to be in Costco a couple of weeks ago and saw these, and I'm like, those seem like they might work really well. And they do have a VESA mount, so they, according to Alexa on Amazon, they will work well with the racing rig monitor stand that I got. So I bought 3 of these at $199.99 a piece. They're still in the box, waiting to for the build to occur. So, but we're going to use this monitor for our setup. Again, trying to keep it as cheap as possible. So I got what I thought would be a good quality gaming monitor for a lower price. There are other choices out there, much better quality, but are super expensive. And I'm trying to keep the cost down as much as possible. So those are the monitors I'm going to be using. And again, Alexa says they're very compatible with the setup I want to run. So moving right along, to connect those monitors, to get the most out of them, in other words, I needed to connect them via DisplayPort. And I needed a DisplayPort 1.4 cable. So I went with the Amazon Basics cables. They come in different sizes, 3, 6, and 10. I got the 10 feet because I didn't know how far away the PC was going to land away from the farthest monitor. So I got the 10 feet, and I've got 3 of them. So those are in-house, and they are DisplayPort. And I do have 3 display ports on what I'm going to show you next, which is the final piece of the puzzle, which is the PC gaming desktop that I bought to drive all of this. This is going to serve as my PC gaming box. I'll install Steam on it probably, and but it's definitely going to be the iRacing PC. But this is a PC that Costco had on sale up until last Sunday, which is when I bought it, the very last day. And I did some research on this. For the price. Now it's back up to almost $3,200, but at the time I bought it, Costco had it on sale for $500 off. So I jumped on that deal for $26.99. It's definitely the most expensive piece of the puzzle, and but I wanted to invest in something decent. It's not top of the line, but it is enough to do some serious iRacing in it and other gaming. So what it is an MSI Aegis gaming desktop with an AMD Ryzen 9 9900X, a GeForce RTX 5080, Windows Home or Windows 11 Home, which should be adequate for my needs, 32 gigabytes of memory, and a 2 terabyte SSD. If we want to do a deeper dive, and it does come with the keyboard and mouse. And I'll start with this keyboard and mouse. They are wired. If I want to go to a wireless keyboard and mouse, I will. But there's some pictures of it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and view product details. So again, the AMD Ryzen 9 9900X for the CPU. The video card is an RTX 5080 with 16 gigabytes of onboard RAM, 2 terabyte SSD, 32 gigabytes of RAM. It has Wi-Fi built in. It also has an Ethernet port. I did verify that because I do want to hardwire this. Good morning, Ted. Good to see you. Welcome. I've decided to do live streams, in case you haven't noticed. Thank you for your advice on the poll. This is the power supply it's got, and it comes with a keyboard and mouse. Deeper into the specifications, Bluetooth 5.3. Let's see, Bluetooth, of course, keyboard and mouse, Wi-Fi. We already talked about the processor and the video card, memory. Let's see. So here's other important specs. So 1 headphone out, 1 microphone in. It's got 3 DisplayPort 2.1 outputs. Oh, I did not know that. I hope the 1.4 cable works. I'll have to check into that and see if there's 2.1 cables I need to get. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out. The Ethernet port is a 1 gigabyte Ethernet port. HDMI 2.1, which I'm probably not going to use. The USB ports, it has 9 ports, 5 USB-A 3.2 and 4 USB-A 2.0s. It has 1 USB-C 3.2. Windows 11 Home. And so those are the specs. So I think I got a pretty good deal. The one thing I just now noticed is the DisplayPort 2.1. I suppose I could look that up real quick. So there are 2.1 cables. The only question I don't know is if the monitor accepts 2.1 cables. So I'll have to check into this offline. That might be the only thing tripping me up. The 1.4 cable might work anyway. I'm not too much of a video expert. I could ask Alexa, I guess. Let me go back and look at that monitor. Look at the specs of the monitor. It's DisplayPort up to 180 hertz. It's DisplayPort 1.4. So I'm limited to 1.4 on the monitor end. So I will just go with the cables I already bought then. Yeah. So anyway, in a nutshell, that's what I bought. And so I'm really anxious to get going on this. But as you guys know, those of you who followed me for a while, I have no time, it seems, to do anything, and it's really bugging me. We'll probably get started on this on Sunday for Sunday's live stream, and we'll go as long as I'm able to tolerate it. I at least like to get the cockpit itself together, so that includes the monitor stand. So we'll probably do that on Sunday. This is my gal's birthday weekend, so we got a lot going on. I'm actually going to a concert this evening with her. That's her birthday present. We're going to go see Five Finger Death Punch. And then tomorrow we're going to revisit State Fair on a Friday because we both took the day off because we're going to the concert tonight. So we're off tomorrow, but I won't be available to do any streams tomorrow because that day is going to be spent at State Fair as long as we can tolerate. And we're going to go out to dinner afterwards. So Friday's out. Saturday is also out. It's looking like because that's her actual birthday day. And I'm going to see if we can't do some fun things. on Saturday. That's usually our day anyway to do stuff. And then Sunday's usually my day. I get 1 day a week to do the stuff I want to do. So that's why I stream on Sundays. So Sunday is looking to be the start date for all this. All the stuff I have for the project is in another room. It's actually in the room that I do cycling in. So I haven't been able to cycle in a few days. Kind of bummed about that, and that's another reason why I want to get going on this. I want to get rid of all the boxes so I can get back to cycling when I feel like it. And so, but yeah, I'm really excited about the project. I want to get going on it, and I hope you guys join me along for the ride. I appreciate you guys joining me for this short preview stream. If you have any questions about the items that I chose or any comments, please feel free to comment on the video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm still getting used to this streaming setup in this office. When I set up the stream, it wasn't like the stuff I have set up downstairs, and it took some getting used to. But thank you for being here, those of you that jumped on. Morning Hockey Town, say morning to you. All the links for all the stuff that I bought are in the description of this stream. So if you want to take a look offline on your own, look at the specs, feel free. But otherwise, join me on the version. Join me on this journey. Again, this Sunday, which is the 16th, is when we'll get started on it. I'm going to try and do a little pre-staging so we can dive right into the build. I'll probably get all the parts. It's got a huge parts bag with it. I'm going to get all the parts separated and separated out so I can just hit the ground running on Sunday and we can just get going. I don't want to spend time on another live stream just sorting through all the screws and washers and all the other parts and pieces. I want to have that all ready to go. So we'll hit the ground running on Sunday. So thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate all of you. And as I always say, have a good week, safe rest of your week, and I'll see you on Sunday. And always remember, I got next.